Charles, as ever, thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us today. You're presumably not surprised that this bailout package has been triggered, but where exactly does it leave Greece? It's not out of the woods by any means, is it?
Well, I mean, you know, you've got debt and then you've got GDP, and the ratio of the first to the second depends on GDP as well as debt, and what they're doing at the moment is going to hammer GDP, so they're sort of making their situation worse with the measures they're taking, even though they will of course reduce their debt ratio. So I mean, really Greece's situation only becomes viable if they can get some growth, and they can't get some growth as long as they're in the euro.
It does also make the kind of no bailout rule from the euro, well, disappear, I guess. How significant is that?
Well, I mean, if it were part of a fusion of the monetary union into a real country, then of course it would be a very significant step down the road they want to tread. But we need to remember that those sort of fusions, as in the United States, occur because of things like the Civil War or the Depression, and the danger is that that's exactly how it'll happen in Europe too, if it happens.
What then is your outlook for the Eurozone? I mean, can it stay together in the way it is at the moment?
We don't think so, because we don't think that the countries and the people involved feel about one another in the way that one should if you're going to become one country, that is, say, so to speak, a United States of Europe. And without that, the monetary union can't work.
Germany obviously is showing real reticence to give any money at the moment, to give that bailout at the moment. It will come through at the last minute, though, you think? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, it's traditional in European negotiations to do the deal at 3 in the morning, and so 11:59 is kind of early for them, so why make your last offer now?
Longer term, though, of course, it looks like Greece is going to be asking for money again and again. I mean, presumably Germany can't just keep bailing them out forever, can they?
No, I mean, the basic point here is that as long as these guys are heftily overvalued within the euro and have no flexibility on exchange rate or interest rate, then they're stuck with being sort of subsidised each year, and you know that can't go on forever.
No, as this crisis seems to deepen, there is also increasing pressure now on Portugal, perhaps Spain, even Ireland. I mean, do you think that the risk of contagion increases?
Well, yeah, no, I don't think it increases, because I think it's very large already. Right. The Portuguese are obviously in some difficulties. They haven't grown as much as Greece, so they aren't so much in debt. The Italians, who have not grown at all for 8 years, don't have a problem at the moment. Well, you know, if you have a falling GDP over 8 years, well, maybe you don't have a problem with debt. You just have a problem with no income.
Yeah, indeed. Just before you go, I'd like to ask you about the UK. We're looking at a very interesting election scenario, possibly a hung parliament. Is there any chance that it will affect the UK's credit rating, and is that very important?
I don't think the credit rating is particularly important. I do think that the world at large has huge private sector surpluses and huge government deficits, and those government deficits are not going away very quickly. So the basic credit of countries is being eroded, and that's happening to Britain too. And it's going to be a very difficult situation to put that right.